So we're going to give it a couple of moments here and let everybody who wants to join in tonight's game to join in before we get started. Good time to take a break from obsessing over what color a map turns in for about an hour or so. We'll play some live streaming trivia tonight. So we've got a long night to go if you're paying attention to the election, which you should be. So we'll take a break while it all sorts itself out and play a little trivia now that we have to resort back to our home games. Let me just make sure everything is up and running. Let me just get this posted here. All right, so we'll get our game rolling here. We're going to start with our news, or our rules, not news. I've got news on the brain. We're going to start with our rules as we see if we have any new players joining tonight. If you've been playing along in the past, you know how to play, so you can take this time to go make a sandwich, go get a drink, let the dog out, whatever you do. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll meet back here to start the game. I am looking for, I did update the score sheet. I'm going to print that link up for you as soon as I find it here. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm all discombobulated. I never remember where exactly it's at. But, all right, we're going to get started with our rules here. Let's get the brands going here. All right, here are our rules for tonight. We are going to play 5 rounds of pub-style trivia. Same way we do it when we are able to do our live in-person games on Tuesday or Wednesday night. Of course, that is not an option for at least the next couple of weeks. So we're back here to playing the at-home version. So we're going to be playing 5 total rounds. First round is a picture round, followed by 3 specific categories, and then a round of general trivia to end our night. Each round is made up of 5 questions worth 1 point each, and a bonus question, which is generally a little bit harder, so it is worth 2 points. So 30 questions in all are being asked tonight. So if you have game will take about a little over an hour to play, depending on how fast we get through everything. I will read you the questions. You're going to write down your answers on your own score sheets at home. You can use any piece of scratch paper, or you can use the play at home score sheet that I have created, that I am trying to get you the look. There it is. All right, I finally found it. I need to bookmark this. All right, I'm posting the link to the score sheet in the comment section here. So you can either print out this PDF or use any piece of scratch paper you have lying around the house. Just make sure you have enough room for 30 answers, and you group your answers in by round. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Distracted, but we have the link. There's the link to the score sheet. You can go ahead and click that and print out your own PDF version of our play at home score sheet, or just use any piece of scratch paper. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to read you the questions. They'll show up on the screen. You are going to write down your answers on your score sheet. Please do not put any answers in the comment section. After repeating the questions, I will read the answers, and you are going to score your own score sheets at home. So please, no cheating, no changing answers, filling in the blanks, anything like that. No Googling or asking your female voiced electronic devices for help. We're playing on the honor system here, so please, no cheating and no answers in the comment section. At the end of the night, you're going to add up your score and take a picture of your score sheet, and you're going to send that to me via Facebook Messenger. If you're playing on Periscope or YouTube, you can post your picture in the comment section, and I'll be able to see it there. As always, you're allowed to double your score for one of our rounds tonight, and you do that. Basically, all you got to do if you want to double your score is circle your group of answers for the particular round you want twice as many points in, but circle your answers before I read you the correct answers. So say the picture round, the first round of the night, you think you did real well, go ahead and circle your scores while I'm repeating the questions, or I give you a minute before I read you the answers. Please don't wait till after the answers I read to decide to double around. Don't wait to the end of the night and just pick the one you did best on. In the spirit of the game, when we play this game in person, you turn in your score sheet after every round before the answers I read, so you don't have your score sheet with you. So it's kind of a gamble on which round you double. So I ask you to do the same thing here and not circle your answers to double before I read the answers. So basically, the only three major infractions you can have tonight is cheating of any kind, looking up answers, filling in blanks, anything of that sort, putting answers in the comment section, and also doubling your scores after answers are read. Other than that, we will be just fine playing along, and we are playing on YouTube tonight for the first time as well. So if anybody's joining on the new Trivia Nights with Greg YouTube channel, welcome. As you see scrolling on the bottom of the screen, that is the information for PayPal and Venmo if you would like to send a tip. Tips are not required to play, but they sure are appreciated, especially since we cannot do the live games in person for the time being. So both of my main sources of income, hosting trivia and scouting and covering hockey games, are not being run. So it's getting a little nerve-wracking these days. So anything you can send over to help is appreciated. If you don't want to send a tip, you can head over to that Hockey Writers site that will be scrolling at the bottom all night long and click on any of those articles. The more clicks you guys give me, the more money they send me at the end of the month. So that is another way to help as well. So enough rules, enough begging, enough pimping and promoting. It's time for our categories. Our categories for tonight, Tuesday night, November the 3rd. It's kind of a presidential kind of day. There's a big thing going on. So we're going to keep that theme with our trivia tonight. Our picture round will be vice presidents. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 men who have served as vice president of the United States. You have to identify who they are. Round 2 is presidential losers. That is a round all about people who ran for president and did not win. Movie presidents is round 3. That's pretty self-explanatory. We'll talk about different presidents in the movies and the people who may have played them. Round number 4, 8th grade U.S. history. Some U.S. history questions right out of an 8th grade textbook. Let's see how well you guys did. And general trivia, that's our final round. That's just some random questions you will be asked to cut off our night. Those don't have any kind of theme to them. They are literally just random questions. So with that, we'll get started with our first round of the evening. Okay, we've got some Facebook people. I think the Facebook feed took a minute to get going, but it looks like it's going. Not expecting a huge crowd tonight with that other thing going on tonight, but those of you who are joining us, let's get rolling with our game. Get your score sheets ready. We're about to go our first round. It is our picture round, and it is vice presidents. I'm going to show you pictures of 5 different vice presidents. You have to identify who they are. So here we go. Vice President number 1 on the screen for you right there. What is this gentleman's name? Vice President number 1. Just looking for this name. Please write it down on your score sheet. Do not put it in on the comment section. You guys are going to score your own score sheets at home and send me pictures of your final scores so we can figure out who our big trivia winner is tonight. That is Vice President number 1, our opening category for the night. Again, if you look in the comment section, I posted the link. I finally updated the Play at Home score sheets, freshened it up a little bit, took all the quarantine stuff off of it. So if you need a new official score sheet, click on the link in the comments and you can download your own version. Number 2, here we go. Vice President number 2. There he is. This guy became famous for not finishing his term. Yeah, so what is this vice president's name? Vice President number 2. As I mentioned earlier, we are streaming live on YouTube. There is a new Trivia Nights with Greg YouTube channel. A lot of people have told me, especially on Wednesday nights in Mount Greenwood, they don't have Facebook or they don't go on Facebook and they wanted to play the live games. So I created the YouTube channel, so we're streaming there as well. So please head over to YouTube when you have a moment and search for Trivia Nights with Greg and hit subscribe. That's another outlet for you to play along live. Plus, I'll eventually have all the old games transferred over there so you can play any of the old games you may have missed. All those videos are still available on the Facebook page. I'm moving them. Oh, they'll still be there. I'm also putting them on YouTube as well, but you're only allowed to put 15 uploads per day. So it's a lengthy process. It's going to take a few days to get them all, but there's a few of our old games on there. Okay, Vice President number 3. There's our 3. Some of these guys may pop up again in other presidential questions. This is Vice President number 3. It was kind of fun going through some of those early games and getting them put up on the YouTube channel. Back before I started using the StreamYard program, the questions aren't up on the screen and the pictures, I had to use my iPad and hold it up to the camera those first few weeks. So some of those games are up there. But you can go back and play those on YouTube. Hopefully in the next, next week or so, all those old games will be up there. But they're all available still on the Facebook page if you'd like to play some games you might have missed. All the videos are saved. Number 4, let's do Vice President number 4 for you. Yeah, it says 3, but that's, no, there we go. Number 4. Vice President number 4. What's this guy's name? Looking for Vice President number 4. Looking for Vice President number 4. All right, here's our final picture clue right here. Vice President number 5. There he is. That's an interesting hairdo. Not the most attractive vice president in the history of the country, but he got a shot at being the actual president for a little while there. This is VP number 5. And let's do our bonus question. We do have a bonus question for our VP round. This one is worth 2 points. Aaron Burr was whose vice president when he shot and killed Alexander Hamilton in an 1804 duel? For 2 points, Aaron Burr was whose vice president when he shot and killed Alexander Hamilton in an 1804 duel? He was the active VP of the United States when that all happened. Pretty crazy. All right, I'll repeat these real quick for you. We'll go through these again one more time, fast as can be. Vice President number 1, there he is. Here comes number 2, second time. And VP number 3. And number 4, there he is. And number 5, one last time. There he is. And that bonus question for you, one last time for 2 points. Aaron Burr was whose vice president when he shot and killed Alexander Hamilton in an 1804 duel? And the only punishment he received for that was that he was not put back on his ticket for when he ran for re-election. So, yeah, no prison time for Mr. Burr, but his political career pretty much was kaput for killing a guy, as it well should be. I don't want to give you guys a minute here to finalize those answers. If you think you did really good with our vice president round and you want to use your double score option, now is the time to circle those answers. If not, you can use it for any one of our next 4 rounds of the night. Presidential losers, movie presidents, 8th grade U.S. history, or our general trivia round. But I'll give you fair warning. We have some multiple choice and true-false questions in the next 3 rounds, but there are no multiple choices or true falses in the general trivia round. Those are all just straight up answers. That's the round that kind of it all comes down to, especially if it's a close game. So you got to know those answers for that round. All right, let's do our answers for vice presidents, our picture round number 1 of 5. Let's go through these real quick, see how you guys did. Vice president number 1, that was Jimmy Carter's VP. We might be hearing about him again very shortly. Walter Mondale is who we're looking for right there. Walter Mondale is vice president number 1. Number 2, this was a guy, he looks slippery and just shady. Spiro Agnew right there. That was Nixon's first VP, but they made him go away. Number 3, this guy, of course, became president and had to make some very important decisions shortly thereafter. Harry Truman. Harry Truman is VP number 3. Number 4, let's put his picture up again. Don't ask him to spell potato. Dan Quayle. Dan Quayle is VP number 4. And number 5, put his picture up there again. This mean-looking guy, he was a target in part of an assassination plot, but he survived and became president after Lincoln was killed This is Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson, but he didn't have a good run of it once he became president. So here we go. And our bonus question, I'm in the wrong screen again. Here we go. Bonus question for 2 points. Aaron Burr was whose vice president when he shot and killed Alexander Hamilton in an 1804 duel? That was Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was the president when that all happened. All right, those answers once again. Number 1 was Walter Mondale. Spiro Agnew was number 2. Harry Truman, number 3. Number 4 was Dan Quayle. Andrew Johnson was number 5. And the bonus question answer was Thomas Jefferson. All right, let's move on to round number 2. That is round number 1. That is complete and over with. So let's move on to round number 2. Presidential losers is round number 2. This is a round all about people who have ran for the office of the presidency and didn't do so well and lost. So let's get into our presidential loser round. We'll have one more of those, hopefully tonight, but probably not for a couple of days, but we'll see how that goes. Number 1 for presidential losers, not round number 2 on your score sheet. Here's question number 1. What former Illinois governor lost to Dwight D. Eisenhower in both 1952 and 1956? What former Illinois governor lost to Dwight D. Eisenhower in both 1952 and 1956? All right. Fortunately, this is how we're going to have to do it. We're doing, in case you haven't been paying attention to the Facebook page, and please like the Trivia Nights with Greg Facebook page if you haven't already. We're going to be doing our play at home games Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and Sunday nights as well. So we'll be doing 3 nights in a row, take a couple of days off, and come back Sunday night. So yes, so we'll be doing 3 nights in a row. I've got tomorrow night's rounds written already. Thursdays we'll stick with our theme nights. This week we'll do a music night, all questions on music. Here's number 2 for presidential losers. Former Vice President Walter Mondale, we saw his picture already, lost to Ronald Reagan in the 1984 election. What state did he hail from? Was it Iowa, Minnesota, or North Dakota? Walter Mondale, the gentleman over my right shoulder, lost to Ronald Reagan in the 1984 election. What state was he from? Iowa, Minnesota, or North Dakota? Losing to Ronald Reagan is putting it lightly. He was trounced. He was beaten like a Marietta biker rally at that election. That wasn't even close. What state was Walter Mondale for? Number 3 is a true-false question. True or false, Ross Perot did not get a single electoral vote in the 1992 election. True or false, Ross Perot did not get a single electoral vote in the 1992 election. All right. Number 4, what party did Ralph Nader run for in the controversial 2000 election? Was it the Reform Party, those wacky libertarians, or the Green Party? What party did Ralph Nader run in the for? Let me start that again. What party did Ralph Nader run for in the controversial 2000 election? Reform, Libertarian, or Green Party? Many people think Ralph Nader screwed over Al Gore in that election. I actually voted for Ralph Nader in that election. That was the first presidential election I was old enough to vote in, and I voted for Ralph Nader only because I knew in Illinois it was going to go to Gore anyway, so let's get crazy. Let's vote for the wacky guy. I mean, if Illinois was a swing state, which it never is, I would have voted for Gore, but it didn't matter because, you know, as seen already tonight, as soon as the poll closes in Illinois, they essentially go, yeah, it's a blue state. So that was a little bit of my voting record for you. Number 5, what former Massachusetts governor lost to George H.W. Bush in the 1988 election, the Willie Horton election? What former Massachusetts governor lost to George H.W. Bush, the first Bush, in the 1988 election? What was that guy's name? Do you remember? Pepperidge Farm remembers. All right. I can't really see the numbers on my screen are jumping up and down, so I have no idea how many people are playing, if anybody. But thank you guys for those who are playing the game tonight. All right, here's our bonus question for presidential losers. For 2 points, name the 2 former presidents Woodrow Wilson defeated in the election of 1912. For 2 points, name the 2 former presidents Woodrow Wilson defeated in the election of 1912. Woodrow Wilson. He was kind of an important president. Held the Oval Office during World War I. Underrated war, that World War I. World War II gets all the movies and books written about it, but not a whole lot out there on World War I, which was pretty intense and brutal. But not a glamorous war, if there's such a thing. It's not a made for Hollywood kind of war. Basically, it's a bunch of kids standing in trenches 2 feet from each other, shooting at each other for days at a time. But anyway, we're looking for the 2 former presidents Woodrow Wilson defeated in the election of 1912. Need both of them to get 2 points. If you get one right, you can give yourself 1 point. Let's repeat these questions for you real quick for at least the one team that's playing tonight. What former Illinois governor lost to Dwight Eisenhower in both 1952 and 1956? Question number 2. Former Vice President Walter Mondale lost to Ronald Reagan in 1984. What state was he from? Was that Iowa, Minnesota, or North Dakota? Number 3, true or false, Ross Perot did not get a single electoral vote in the 1992 election. Number 4, what party did Ralph Nader run for in the controversial 2000 election? Was that the Reform Party, the Libertarian, or the Green Party? Number 5. What former Massachusetts governor lost to George H.W. Bush in 1988? And the bonus question one more time for 2 points. Name the 2 former presidents Woodrow Wilson defeated in the election of 1912. All right, give you guys a few seconds to finalize those answers. If you want to use your double score option for this round, go ahead and circle your answers at this time. All right. Let's do our answers for round 2, presidential losers. Here we go. What former governor, question number 1, Illinois governor, lost to Dwight Eisenhower twice in consecutive elections in 52 and 56? You've heard of him, Adlai Stevenson. If you've ever tried to go south on north or south on 55, you've taken the Stevenson Expressway. Number 2, Walter Mondale, that guy right there. He got trounced by Ronald Reagan in 1984. He hailed from the state of Minnesota. Minnesota is where Walter Mondale originated from. Number 3, Ross Perot, true or false, did not receive a single electoral vote in 1992. That is true. Even though he got, I think, 19% of the popular vote, he still did not get a single electoral vote, which just shows you how silly the system is. Number 4, what party did Ralph Nader run for in the controversial 2000 election? He was part of the Green Party. The Green Party, named after Kermit the Frog, I believe. Number 5, what former Massachusetts governor lost to George H.W. Bush? He's been hanging out behind me this whole time. Michael Dukakis. Michael Dukakis, yes, is related to Academy Award winner Olivia Dukakis. I believe they're cousins or something of that sort. And our bonus question for 2 points. Name the 2 former presidents Woodrow Wilson defeated in the election of 1912. He beat Theodore Roosevelt and Taft, William H. Taft. Roosevelt and Taft. You need both of those names in order to get full credit. 2 points. So if you got those 2, give yourself 2 more points. If you only got 1, go ahead and give yourself 1 point. Of course, if you didn't get any, you get no points. That wraps up round 2. Let's quickly move on to round number 3 tonight. Movie presidents is round number 3. This round will be all about presidents from the movie, some fictional, non-fictional movies. There's been a lot of people to play presidents, real and not real, over the years. We'll talk about a few of them. Let's move right into it. Question number 1. Who played President James Marshall in 1997's Air Force One? Who played President James Marshall in Air Force One? Looking for the actor who played the Commander-in-Chief in Air Force One. Came out in 1997. right, question number 2. Who played the president in 1997's Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me? Was it Tom Arnold, Tim Robbins, or Tom Cruise? 1997 was a good year for fake presidents. Who played the president in Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me? Was it Tom Arnold, Tim Robbins, or Tom Cruise? Those Austin Power movies are still funny. I don't care what anybody says. Who played the president in the first Austin Powers movie? Tom, Tim, or Tom? Fat Tom, Tim, or Short Tom? Which one was it? Question number 3. True or false, Charlton Heston played Andrew Jackson on more than one occasion? True or false, Charlton Heston, the NRA guy, played Andrew Jackson on more than one occasion? True or false, Charlton Heston played Andrew Jackson more than once? Question 4. Anthony Hopkins played Richard Nixon in the 1995 biographical film Nixon. Who directed this movie? Was it Oliver Stone, Steven Spielberg, or Clint Eastwood? Anthony Hopkins played Richard Nixon in the 1995 biopic Nixon. Clever title. Who directed this movie? Oliver Stone, Steven Spielberg, or Clint Eastwood? Question number 5. Bill Pullman played President Thomas J. Whitmore in what 1996 summer blockbuster? Bill Pullman played President Thomas J. Whitmore in the what 1996 summer blockbuster? All right. And our bonus question for the movie President's Round for 2 points. Name the 70s and 80s sitcom star who played President Chet Roosevelt in the 1979 movie Americathon. Yeah. Get that one. For 2 points, name the 70s and 80s sitcom star who played President Chet Roosevelt in the 1979 movie Americathon. Never thought you'd hear the name Chet Roosevelt, did you? All right, let's repeat these questions for you real quick. Number 1, who played President James Marshall in 1997's Air Force One? Number 2, who played the president in 1997's Austin Power, The Spy Who Shagged Me? Tom Arnold, Tim Robbins, or Tom Cruise? Number 3, true or false, Charlton Heston played Andrew Jackson on more than one occasion. True or false, did Heston play Jackson more than once? Number 4, Anthony Hopkins played Richard Nixon in the 1995 biopic called Nixon. Who directed said movie? Was it Oliver Stone, Steven Spielberg, or Clint Eastwood? Number 5, Bill Pullman played President Thomas J. Whitmore in what 1996 summer blockbuster? And the bonus question for 2 points. Name the 70s and 80s sitcom star who played President Chet Roosevelt in the 1979 movie called Americathon. It's a real thing. I didn't make that up. All right, I'll give you guys a few seconds to finalize those answers. All right, let's do our answers for our movie president round. Number 1, who played President James Marshall in Air Force One? That, of course, is Harrison Ford. Thankfully, they didn't let him fly the plane in that movie because he probably would have taken out a couple golfers. Who played the president in Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me? That would be Tim Robbins. Tim Robbins. Number 3, true or false, Charlton Heston played Andrew Jackson on more than one occasion. That's true. Seems like a natural fit for those two guys. Number 4, Anthony Hopkins played Richard Nixon in 1995's Nixon. And that movie was directed by Oliver Stone. Oliver Stone did the Nixon movie. Number 5, Bill Pullman played President Thomas J. Whitmore, of course, in the wonderful Independence Day. I saw that movie like 3 or 4 times in the theater when it first came out. Bonus question for 2 points. Name the 70s and 80s sitcom star who played President Chet Roosevelt. Oh, excuse me. Got a yawn sneaking up on me. Who played Chet Roosevelt in Americathon? Kudos to you if you were able to pull this one out of your rear end. You deserve these 2 bonus points. John Ritter. John Ritter is our answer for the bonus question. Mr. Regal Beagle himself. Jack Tripper was president. Those answers again. Number 1, Harrison Ford. Tim Robbins was number 2. 3 was true. Oliver Stone was our director from number 4. Number 5 is Independence Day, and the bonus question answer, John Ritter. John Ritter. All righty, that takes care of movie presidents. 3/5 of the way there. Let's move on to round 4. 8th grade U.S. history is our category. And I'm going to ask you some questions all about U.S. history that you can find in an 8th grade textbook. So, yes, let's see how much you remember from your grade school history. Here we go. 8th grade U.S. history, round 4-5. Question number 1. What was the name of the tax imposed on the colonists by the British, which taxed almost anything made of paper? What was the name of the tax imposed on the colonists by the British, which taxed almost everything that was made of paper? It was not a very popular tax, that's for sure. Caused some tea to go missing a few days later. What was the name of the tax imposed on the colonists by the British, which taxed almost everything made of paper? Question number 2. The Constitution was written in 1787 by some of our greatest leaders. In what city did they gather to write the Constitution? Was that New York City, Boston, or Philadelphia? Constitution was written in 1787 by some of our greatest leaders. What city did they gather to write this historic document? Was it New York City, Boston, or Philadelphia? 3 historic cities. Which one was the Constitution written in? All right, question number 3. True or false? The Louisiana Purchase was a deal made with England. True or false? The Louisiana Purchase was a deal made with England. Question number 4. Which European nation originally colonized Florida? Spain, England, or Holland? Which European nation originally colonized Florida? Thanks a lot. Spain, England, or Holland? Which European nation originally colonized Florida? Spain, England, or Holland? Holland used to be a big player. Looking for the original colonizers of Florida. Let's see here. Number 5. Where did the first hostile action of the Civil War take place? Where did the first hostile action of the Civil War take place? Looking for the specific place. Where did the first hostile action of the Civil War take place? And a bonus question for 8th grade U.S. history. For 2 points, during what war was the Star Spangled Banner written? For 2 points, during what war was the Star Spangled Banner written? All right, I'll repeat these again real quick for you. Number 1, what is the name of the tax imposed on the colonists by the British, which taxed almost everything made of paper? Number 2, the Constitution was written in 1787. In what city? New York City, Boston, or Philadelphia? Number 3, true or false, the Louisiana Purchase was a deal made with England? Number 4, which European nation originally colonized Florida? Was that Spain, England, or Holland? Number 5, where did the first hostile action of the Civil War take place? And the bonus question for 2 points. During what war was the Star Spangled Banner written? During what war was the Star Spangled Banner written? How well do you remember your U.S. history? And I'll give you guys a few seconds to finalize those answers. So you want to, this is when you want to circle your answers if you want to double those scores if you haven't used it already. Still use it for the general trivia round, but there are no multiple choice or true false in general trivia, so just keep that in mind. All right, let's do our 8th grade U.S. history answers for this night and then move on to our final round of the evening. Number 1, what was the name of the tax imposed by the British that taxed almost everything made of paper? That was called the Stamp Act. The Stamp Act is what we're looking for number 1. Number 2, the Constitution was written by some of our greatest leaders in 1787, and that was written in the state of Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Number 3, true or false? The Louisiana Purchase was a deal made with England. That is false. That was made with France. We got the Louisiana Purchase from Napoleon. He needed money to take over the world. We gave him some money. He gave us a whole bunch of land. He just tried to go into Russia, and that's never a good idea. And so we got the better end of that deal. Number 4, which European nation originally colonized Florida? That would be Spain. Spain is the country that first colonized Florida. Number 5, was the first hostile action of the Civil War that took place? Fort Sumter, South Carolina, not South Dakota. That would be a little weird. Fort Sumter, South Carolina is where the first shots were fired in the Civil War. And the bonus question for 2 points: during what war was the Star Spangled Banner written? A lot of people think this was written during the Revolutionary War, but it was actually the War of 1812, the sequel to the Revolutionary War, part 2 with the Brits. War of 1812 is what we're looking for. So those answers, again, number 1, Stamp Act. Number 2, Philadelphia. Number 3 was false. Spain was number 4. Fort Sumter, South Carolina is number 5. And the bonus question answer was the War of 1812. That is the war in which the Star Spangled Banner was written. All right, that gets us to our final round of the night. It is general trivia. I'm going to ask you some random questions. You're hopefully going to come up with the correct answers. After this round, you know what to do. You're going to add up your scores, take a picture, send it to me on the Facebooks, and we'll see who our winner is tonight, if we even have multiple teams out there tonight. All right, here we go. General trivia. These are completely random questions on all sorts of topics. No multiple choice or true false this round. We'll start with number 1. What former Chicago baseball player holds the Major League Baseball record for hitting home runs in 45 different Major League ballparks? What former Chicago baseball player holds the MLB record for hitting home runs in 45 different Major League ballparks? This guy obviously would have had to play during a time when a lot of new ballparks were being introduced and old ballparks were being torn down. So think about that era. You got to remember there weren't a whole lot of new ballparks being built in the olden days. So think about a time when the trend was to get yourself a new ballpark. And you'll come up with this answer. Number 2, what does TCF stand for in TCF Bank? What does the TCF stand for in TCF Bank? Number 3 in our general trivia round, which U.S. president was the first to receive full protection from the Secret Service? Back to our presidents again. Which U.S. president was the first to receive full protection from the Secret Service? Number 4, what country did the Caesar salad originate from? What country did the Caesar salad originate from? Question number 5. Who was on the cover of the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine back in 1967? Pretty famous guy. You've heard of him. You've heard of him. Who was on the cover of the first issue of Rolling Stone back in 1967? Obviously, he was a musician. Wasn't a baseball player on Rolling Stone. It was a pretty well-known musician. And our bonus question, final question of the night for 2 points. The Georgia O'Keeffe Museum is located appropriately in the capital city of what U.S. state? For 2 points, the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum is located appropriately in the capital city of what U.S. state? All right, let's repeat these questions for you again. Number 1, what former Chicago baseball player holds the MLB record for hitting home runs in 45 different ballparks? Number 2, what does the TCF stand for in TCF Bank? And number 3, which U.S. president was the first to receive full protection by the Secret Service? Number 4, what country did the Caesar salad originate from? And number 5, who was on the cover of the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine in 1967? And our bonus question one more time. For 2 points, the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum is located appropriately in the capital city of what U.S. state? All right, I'll give you guys a few seconds here. Finalize those answers. Don't forget, you're going to send a picture of your final scoreboard after I read you these answers. That will We'll figure out who our big winner is tonight. Don't forget, we will be playing trivia at 7 p.m. right here again tomorrow night and Thursday night as well. And Sunday. That's our schedule going forward until we could pick up the in-person games again. They told us 2 weeks at least. It's probably going to be a lot longer than that. So we're stuck here doing nothing but the home games. But we'll be all right. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, right back here. Thursday night as well. Thursday night, we'll keep our themes. I've already got Thursdays planned out. We're going to do a music night. We'll do all music-themed rounds for the night, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do after that. So we've already got our next 2 nights planned. Should be some good stuff. Hopefully we'll get a better turnout without the big election on the next couple of nights. We should have some more players in here. So let's do our answers for our final round real quick. Number 1, what former Chicago baseball player he has the record for hitting home runs in 45 different stadiums? That would be Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa has hit a home run in the most ballparks ever. Number 2, what does the TCF stand for in TCF Bank? Twin City Federal, Minnesota-based bank there. Twin City Federal. I don't know if they're still based there, but that's where they started. Number 3, which U.S. president was the first to receive full protection from the Secret Service? Second time this gentleman's name has come up tonight. Theodore Roosevelt. Teddy R was our first guy getting the Secret Service protection. Number 4, what country did the Caesar salad originate from? Many people would probably think Italy, but it actually was first created, put together, however you want to refer to it, in Mexico. So the Caesar salad is technically Mexican food. Not too shabby. Number 5, who was on the cover of the first issue of Rolling Stone magazine back in 1967? I told you he was a musician, and you've heard of him. You have definitely heard of John Lennon. John Lennon was on the first cover of Rolling Stone. And finally, our bonus question for 2 points. The Georgia O'Keeffe Museum is located appropriately in the capital city of what U.S. state? I hope you didn't put down Georgia. That would be wrong. It's New Mexico. New Mexico. New Mexico was the subject of many of her paintings, and I believe that's where she lived for many years, including when she passed away. New Mexico is where the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum is. So those answers are Sammy Sosa for number 1. Number 2 is Twin City Federal. Theodore Roosevelt is number 3. Number 4 is Mexico. John Lennon was number 5, and New Mexico is the bonus question answer. So go ahead and start sending me those scores, and we'll see if we have. Hey, tonight could be the night where if you just send me a score, you automatically win. I don't know. I can't tell how many people are playing, but it doesn't look like a lot. Not a surprise. Probably should have held off on this until tomorrow, but it's distracting me from my anxiety for a little bit over an hour, and I'm okay with that. So start sending me those final scores. You can send them to either the trivia page or my personal page. It doesn't matter to me. They go to the same place. Let's see where we are here. All right. Stacy, Tracy, Dave, the STDs, I have your score. Thank you. Joey and Anna, I have your score. Thank you. My 2 teams I know are always going to be in the room. What is going on here? There we go. All right, we'll do this real quick. We're just going to announce our president and vice president for the night. stick with our little theme there. And then you guys can all get back to whatever it is you want to do anyways. Our vice president team, second place team, that would be Joey and Anna. Team Rios, 30 points. Nicely done. Thank you guys, as always. And our president team tonight, top score, 35 points. STD, Stacy, Tracy, and Dave. Nicely done, gang. You guys are our top 2 scorers tonight. Since we're just doing presidents, we'll just give our top 2. I can change the presentation. I have the computer. All right, so that wraps up our game for tonight. Get back to our Tuesday nights. Whatever you guys are doing, just remain safe and good and take care of each other. Keep wearing those masks. And we'll meet back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I'll have the categories posted for you guys in the morning. So we'll be here tomorrow at 7, Thursday at 7 for a music theme night. And then Sunday night we'll do this as well. So that's the schedule for the next couple of weeks until we're allowed to get back and doing this in person. Yeah, I have no idea when that's going to be. It all depends on how we get these COVID numbers down. So Christmas, maybe, hopefully. All right, guys, be good. We'll catch you tomorrow night. See you later. Thank you.